Good evening, people. It's John from Veganism KILLS. It's 1:43 p.m. Sunday, July 25th. Today, we're going to go see, this is a rebuttal study putting on by some vegan quack doctors to make excuses for what this vegan couple did to their 5 children, right? You know, veganism's desperately trying not to get a black eye, but you keep killing children. And you're not only killing one child, you got the other 4 sick as well. Now, parents of 6 children are facing a trial on charges of aggravated manslaughter in the care of 5.5-month-old infant who died suddenly, and neglect of their 4 older children for causing them to be malnourished by feeding them an exclusively raw foods vegan diet. Now, what's the difference between the regular vegan diet and the raw food vegan diet? One cooks the toxic substance that they consume, the other group don't. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing. Both parents declined plea bargains and planned to defend themselves in court. So they killed their kid. And I want you to see how these vegan quacks debunk that the diet was killing them with data that they just pull out of the air and attack other medical professionals for no reason whatsoever. They should be removed from the medical community. This guy, David K. Cundiff and William Harris. And it's very easy to see because it's obviously the coroner has hands on the body after the child dies, okay? The coroner, who's been doing this for 20, 30 years, works for the state, is asked to examine the body and show the cause of death and put that on the death certificate. But yet, these 2 quacks, vegan quacks, who haven't examined the body, have never stepped in the autopsy room, are rebutting the coroner's findings by a statement made by the World Health Organization definition, who also weren't in the coroner's examination room when he did the autopsy on the child. This is how vegans operate. They just make stuff up. The 5th child born to a married couple was breastfed into 2.5 months. So already the kid's at a bad start because his vegan titty that he was sucking on was malnourished. Subsequently, the parents fed the baby an exclusively raw foods diet prepared in a blender at home, which is mostly what most vegans do anyway with their smoothie in the morning. None of that food is cooked. So what's the difference between the vegan raw diet and the vegan cooked diet is very little. The 4 older children, ages 18 months through 6.5 years, also ate an exclusively raw foods vegan diet. None of the 4 older children had significant previous injuries or serious illness. So they never got sick, serious illness. They might have had a cold and stuff, or any injuries. So their parents were not physically abusive. At autopsy, the infant weighed 6.99 pounds and appeared emaciated. The thymus gland was absent. So the child was so malnourished that no thymus gland. And the parathyroid glands were not located because they didn't grow because of malnutrition. The lungs were congested. The George anomaly cannot be ruled out from these findings, but it can't be ruled in either. Not unless you do an autopsy on the child yourself and you can show your data that contradicts the coroner's results. It's all bullshit. Although the coroner ruled that malnutrition was the sole cause of death, malnutrition, according to the World Health Organization definition, cannot be diagnosed in this infant. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. If he takes some blood and it's missing key nutrients in the blood, and the child has no body weight, and no significant calories, no size, no nutrition in the bloodstream, lungs, heart, kidneys, no signs of vitamin, complex amino acids, no sign of cholesterol. And the body started consuming itself. It's starvation. It's malnutrition. This is what I see. You got two quacks that haven't examined this child's body, but saying they're looking through the dictionary for a definition. Then they're going to tell you, well, it can't be diagnosed in this situation because the World Health Organization's definition. Never mind the fact that the coroner applied basic science to figure out that this child died from malnutrition, and he was the one who did the actual data gathering for it. And these guys were nowhere near the body, or not even in the examination room at the time of the autopsy. This is the bullshit that vegans try to pass as a study. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Compared with standard growth charts, the older children fell 2.1 to 4.1 standard deviations below the means of a North American child in height and weight. So yes, they were malnutritioned. Okay? Labs were normal except for low cholesterol level. Well, news to tell you, let's just put it bluntly: your body needs cholesterol. It's the basis of all your cells in your body. Your brain cells cholesterol is about 70%. Most of your cells are like between 30 and 70% cholesterol. So if you take away the building blocks of a cell, you're in a state of malnutrition, and your body can't make enough cholesterol to create more cholesterol. You need an outside source. Low bilirubin in one of the three children. Therefore, malnutrition cannot be diagnosed in these children. You didn't examine the children. You weren't there. You read the test results. You probably glossed over most of the stuff, and you came out with this conclusion that the children weren't malnourished. But a pediatrician diagnosed rickets in the 4-year-old. However, chest x-rays were normal, and all the lone x-rays showed minimal changes. Well, if x-rays showed minimal changes, those changes had to be affected upon by something, and it's called rickets. These guys are trying minimal changes in one child, no sign of rickets. Yes, minimal changes is a sign of rickets. You see how they try to gloss over this stuff? A psychologist diagnosed 18-month-old as developmentally delayed to the level of 15-month-old, but this diagnosis is questionable. So vegans, these two vegan quacks who never examined the child at the autopsy to rebut the coroner's exam, they'll go as far as, if they think the coroner is wrong, they'll exhume the body and check it again. Did they do that? No. The child has glands that were missing. The lungs were congested. What the pediatrician told them that the child had rickets. They turn around and look at some X-rays. The chest X-rays were normal, and the long bone X-rays showed minimal changes in one child. That's a sign of rickets. What kind of quacks are working here? Why do you guys at the National Library of Medicine let these quacks put up stuff that they dispute their findings of their peers, who actually did hands-on physical examination of the children? The autopsy was done in a clinic by a trained professional, the coroner, who's paid for his expertise in court trials. And these guys, without having any access to that, or the children, are telling everybody they're fucking wrong. Look at this. The raw foods vegan diet and possibly inherited small stature from their father's side account for their relative low heights and weights. Catch-up growth will probably occur on the standard American diet, but it would also expected if they remained on the vegan diet. Catch-up growth. So you just admitted that they're behind, or it's possibly inherited small stature from their father's side. Then they're at normal height and weight. Why are you saying they need catch-up growth if they're perfectly healthy? How'd the child starve to death if they were perfectly healthy? I never heard of perfectly healthy people just starving to death for no fucking reason. That's what these quacks are trying to tell you. Now done with that one. Now look, case reported nutritional rickets in an infant following a vegan diet. Let's go here. We report the case of a 13-month-old infant who was referred to a pediatric emergency department because of psychomotor regression with 4 bone fractures due to nutritional rickets. The reason was prolonged breastfeeding from a vegetarian mother followed by a vegan diet for the infant after weaning. Rickets is one of the many nutritional deficiencies that could affect infants led vegan or vegetarian diets. These diets are publicly held concern required adaptive information to digest alternate formulas made from rice or soy proteins and adaptive supplementation after weaning. Well, there was a case in Australia where they did give the baby rice and soy proteins. It still wrecked her health, and she's got cerebral palsy now. So, now I want you to read what this quack, these 2 quacks wrote. Lack of supplementation and not a vegan diet as the cause of rickets in an infant. If you're not on the vegan diet and you eat a healthy omnivore diet, you don't need supplements. You told people, oh, that quack doctor, Dr. Greger, told people over and over and over in multiple videos that the vegan diet is 100% nutritional for all stages of life. But here you are saying that it was not the vegan diet that caused the rickets in the infant. It was because you didn't give them supplements. It's a fucking infant. And you dopey vegans, some of you need a slap into reality. I've seen an adult vegan take 2 shots of the B12, in their mouth, then grab their child's face, the child whose body mass is like 1/10 of theirs, and spray the same dose of B12 inside the child's mouth. Not in taking in consideration of the child's body mass is much lower, that if you give it the same supplements that you give an adult, they're going to get a toxic reaction to the supplements because you're way overdosing them for their body weight. But vegans, they don't know nothing. They're stupid. They're stupid. I mean, these are doctors here. It was the lack of supplementation and not the vegan diet. It is the vegan diet because the vegan diet lacks so many freaking nutrients on it, you have to depend on supplementation. It is the vegan diet's fault. I like to meet these 2 doctors, and I'll tell them right to their face. What you say? Wait a minute. You're saying it's not the vegan diet that caused rickets in the infant? You're saying it's the lack of supplementation? Well, if the vegan was 100% nutritional, like you said, they wouldn't need no fucking supplements. And that's what the friggin' vegan medical community's been telling people for years. That the vegan diet is 100% nutritional for all stages of life, from cradle to the grave. You said that. And then you turn around and said it's not the vegan diet that caused the rickets, it was the lack of supplementation. Your diet has no nutritional value. It's dangerous, and it's killed kids, and it's making them sick. How much more do you need to see? To all you vegans out there that ignore this shit, there's a special place in Green Health that you're going to go into. You might see me there for other reasons, but I'll probably be stirring the stew and cooking your ass. Alright, on that note, I'm out of there.